Hey there guys, thanks for joining us for another board game night. Today we're going to have a look at the Dutch East Indies from Keep Exploring Games, and the designer is Martin Luij. Well, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Martin. I'll try a bit better next time. Alright, so we're gonna have a look at this with some gameplay as well, but we're gonna go over the overview first, where we talk about the rules, etc. But before we get to that, I'll have Dee and Carla join me for this review. Alright, so each one of us plays one of the factions in the game box, which I'm playing Holland, Carla's playing Portugal, Dee's playing England, and the other faction is Spain. And we each have a home tile where we start as the first player. I'm the first player because I got the TARDIS, even though that doesn't come with the game. I've got 14 resource cubes or crates and 10 money. Everyone else has 15 and 10 money. And then what we're going to do on our turn is we're going to try and collect as many, well, 2 of each of these spices from these wild islands. So, for example, we might go to, and I don't want to show, I'm not going to show what's on these islands because that'll obviously ruin the game we're about to play, but they will look like this. This is a spare card from the box. So this is telling you, let's, for example, I went to that island over there. I traded in 3 crates from my homeworld. I would get 1 coin and 2 cardamom. There's 4 different types of spices. I know there's 5 there, but I'll get to that. So you got cardamom, you got cinnamon, you got nutmeg, and you got cloves. And then you've also got pepper. Pepper is a wild. So we're trying to get 2 of each of these. Once we've returned 2 of each of those, including peppers, to our homeland, we win them immediately. Sort of atomic ending. So on your turn, you've got 2 ships. Each of them have different sets of sails, cannons, and cargo, as most ships do. So as you can see here, this is my player board. Over here, the green little discs represent my large ship. The white see-through discs, I know it's struggling to see that, is my small ship. So for example, my large ship has, that moved on there, has 7 cargo, and my small ship has 5 cargo. My large ship has 5 cannons. My small ship has 3 cannons. It also tells me the pirates, which are the black ships over there. The big one has 6 cannons. The small one has 4 cannons. They're both speed 1. They don't have cargo because they don't hold anything. They just go around shooting us. And then down here it tells you about the combat actions. Over here it tells you what the objective is. So obviously you get 2 of each. You win. There it tells you can trade
X amount of cargo resources.
Exactly, yeah. And this one tells you in the middle here is the sort of market island, if you like, as it says over there with the market island. Also has the compass on, and I'll get to that in a minute. It tells you what you can do if you dock at any of the market islands with the anchors. You can do these actions. So you could upgrade your ship, you could sell crates, you could buy crates, and you could trade 1 spice for a different spice if you add some money to sweeten the pot. So it's kind of a free-form game in terms of that on the beginning of your turn, the first thing you do on everyone's turn is do the pirates. So we have 2 pirates over here. We have this D8, which has all the wind directions on. So for example, this bad boy over here, on the beginning of his turn, he's going to move northwest. So north is facing that way for this game. West is obviously that way, so he just moves like that. They will only move 1 space. If we are in ports, we're safe. But if we're in the open water and we start our turn next to them, or if we move past them on our turn, they will attack us. Attacking is pretty simple. Each player rolls a d6, add the number of cannons, and then the person who wins. If you win against pirates, nothing happens, but if they beat you, you're going to lose some stuff. We'll get into that in the gameplay section.
I'm sure there'll probably be some kind of combat.
Yeah. And then your turn is basically, you can do move and actions, or actions and then moves. You can't interrupt your move, but for example, my big ship can go 1, 2, 3, and then this would be a bad idea because I'm not actually loaded my ship with anything. But then I could trade with this island over here. I could look at the card and it would tell me,
because there's a port there.
Exactly, yes.
Ports are quite important as to where they are on the card, because you can't just go to any part of the island. There's only the ports where you can start your trading.
And the facing of your ship matters as well. When you move, for example, I'm going to put this in the middle here so you can have a quick look. So, movement of your ship is very simple, but there's a couple of tricks to it. For example, the 8 squares around me, I can only move to these 5 over here. because of my facing. The 3 back ones behind me I cannot get to. If I spend one of my movement points to maybe turn the ship like that, now these 3 spaces are the ones I can't get to, but now I can freely move to any of those spaces. So if I want to turn around completely, it would cost a lot of movement for me to get into a space that I couldn't access before. Is there anything else I need to explain? So that's about it. I think we'll get started. We've explained enough. We'll get started and we'll come back with gameplay and you can see what it's like. Alright, so you join us for the gameplay section. We've had a few rounds already. And you can have a quick look at the board and then I'll go over what's happened. And as the first player, I'll take the first action. So you can see the English are loitering around there in the open ocean. The pirates have gone north to that side of the world, and we're all in our own departments sailing around finding our stuff. Alright, so I am the first player. I will be taking my first action. In my previous turn, this ship over here sailed from there to there and offloaded some nut cinnamon, and I've got 2 cloves already. And then my other ship has one of the orange ones, which, what's the orange one again? Is it nutmeg?
Cardamom.
Nutmeg.
Oh, no, it is nutmeg.
Nutmeg, yeah. So
colour.
he's got that, and he's just been there to upgrade as well. I upgraded his cargo hold, because everything else is really expensive. So, first thing I do at the beginning of my turn is I roll for the pirates. So we'll start with the big one. The compass is on the board, as I said earlier, and we're going to go with the big one. It goes northeast, so towards Carla's realm.
No, away from Carla. That's fine.
Away from the ships. Heading straight to Portugal.
And then the small one is going west. Alright, so those are both those actions done. Now for my actions, my pirate ship, my Dutch pirate ship over here is going to sail.
It's not a pirate ship, it's a Dutch ship.
Oh man, it's Dutch, so it must be pirates.
Apologies for any of the Dutch fans that are
Sorry.
quickly unsubscribing.
Sorry, Graham. 1, 2. My movement is 3, but I'm only going to move 2. I'm going to go over there, and then I'm going to have a look at what these tribesmen want. So I can trade this for these. Alright, that's interesting. I'm going to put that back. And I'm then going to activate my little ship. So my little ship is already loaded up with some extra cargo over there. I'm going to turn once, and then I think I'm going to turn for a second time like that. As it's only movement 2, that's both its actions done.
Wow. Productive.
Yep. Alright, over to D.
Okay.
So just before D starts his turn, let's have a quick look. He's got one ship over here with some pepper in, which is a wild, as we said. And then that one has got 1 orange and 1 white.
Yes.
Nutmeg and cinnamon.
Yep. And it's got some money in by the looks of things and a crate.
Yeah, got some stuff going on in there.
So I reckon it's heading back to England. Let's see what he does.
Firstly, let's see what the pirates do. This big ship goes northeast again, so it goes over here.
You've upgraded one of your ships, haven't you?
I have, yeah, got extra cannons and extra cargo on the big ship.
Okay.
Which is clearly indicated by the ship which has less sails.
And no cannons whatsoever.
Come to that later. The little ship will go northeast, so he'll fit right in here.
They're both sailing off into the sunset.
So you may have noticed, first time it's come up in the gameplay video, corners of the islands are fine moving across them. You don't have to navigate all the way around them.
Yeah.
So that's the pirate ships. So now I'll do my movements. I'm simply going to, small ship, movement 2. It's going to go 1 there, and then he's going to turn that way for a second point. Then I'm going to interact with my island by dropping both of those down. I will... Interesting.
Always the interesting choice when you get to a home island is what to load up the ship with again. Because the small ship is only a cargo of 4. Your one?
5.
Oh, you upgraded that one.
No, that's what it starts on 5 for the small.
Oh. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Okay, so then I'm going to reload that with... I'm undecided about whether I should spend my money there. I think I'm not. I think I'm just going to go 5 crates. Just see if I can get Muchos trading. And then the big ship is going to go 1, 2, and 3. He's also going to interact with that, so I'm going to drop the pepper off. He's got a cargo of 8. He's going to take all 6 of the money. And 2 crates. Okay, that is my turn.
Alright.
Colour.
Over to colour. Large ship first.
Right, so this one here is going south. Oh dear. Yeah, he is going south.
Second time in a row they've copied each other.
I think it might be the 3rd time in a row, if I'm honest.
Walkie-talkies, man, I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, my little ship is gonna... So he's facing that corner, I think.
He went there last turn and upgraded his cargo hold, didn't you?
Yes.
Cargo hold, and then also bought some more crates. So instead of like loading up crates from your home nation, you can buy some crates at the open market. They cost 1 gold for 2 crates.
I think he's gonna go 1. He's facing that corner, so now he's facing this way. I think maybe just 2 and stay right where he is for now.
So while you're in a port, you can't be shot. So obviously it's really important to probably hug the ports as much as possible when there's pirates lurking.
And you might be wondering why there's a floating coin over there. That's the pirate ship shot Carla, and she didn't have any spices, so she downgraded her cargo hold and dumped some money overboard. I say dumped money overboard. That was the pirates stealing it and then forgetting it.
Well, the way I look at it, nobody's going to go near there right now, so...
They were pretty close to you there.
They are very close to me at the moment. Right, so I am going to turn by 1. And then I'm going to go... Is that a smart idea to do now?
Are you tempted to go back to your homeland?
No, well, I'm trying to figure out that, but that's not going to work. So... 1, 2... I'll just turn to the side there for 3. So I can have a look at what's going on here. Okay, so I've got an option. If I have 4 cargo, I can trade it for a coin and some peppercorn. And I have got 2 coins and 4 cargo. So luckily for me, I do have the 4 cargo to trade for 1 peppercorn
and 1 money.
And 1 money.
And that puts you to cargo of 4, so you got plenty more space.
That goes back in there, and he's still facing that direction. That is resolved.
Alright, and that's your turn done. So, large ship is going east.
Okay.
Oh.
And small ship is going southeast. Protecting that money that it left behind.
And he's annoying.
Luckily, it's not Carla's turn next, because if she moved anywhere from there, she would be attacked by the pirates. But she is not next, it is me next. So first things first, my big ship over there is just going to go 1, 2. And have a look.
Yeah, you can't do that. You're facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, you have to turn first. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Now it's okay.
And then this one is going to go 1 and then 2 to there. That's my turn done.
That's simple, isn't it? Right, me. Big pirate ship. Southwest. I like. And then little pirate ship. Right, so south. So it's trying to go into that square. When it is occupied, it will then go in the opposite direction. So it almost bounces off that location. So it goes that way instead. And the coins obviously stays there. if for whatever reason that the opposite direction was also, so if it was there and it tried to go east, it would try and go west, it can't go, and then you would reroll that. That's happened once already in this game right at the beginning, but
Yeah.
okay, so that's those two. My movements, I think simply he's going to go 1, 2. I think this guy is going to go 1, 2, 3.
That island's been cleared out already.
Okay, so starting with the big pirate ship, we are going to go, well, attempt to go east.
Towards you.
Seriously.
What it's worth. Facing doesn't really matter for the pirate ships, if I'm completely honest, but thematically it just seems right.
Shows you which way they were sailing for what it's worth. It's heard some English ships are coming in.
Now with mine.
Alright, so it's heard some English ships are coming up. Go check them out. And what is Carla going to do? Is that ship just going to sit there and dock? I suppose it could move there.
Yeah, it can move away from it. So the pirate ships only attack you when you move into a space which is adjacent to a pirate.
Which is all 9 spaces as well.
Yeah. So
Or 8 rather.
So Carla could, if she, as long as Carla doesn't move there or there, if she moves somewhere else, she won't get shot.
Okay, so I can choose. Maybe I should do this guy first. Not that this is much easier. Currently, Portugal is being surrounded by
It's blockaded.
There's an invasion.
And my problem, of course, with this is that if I move my 3 movements, so 1, say 2,
You get
I'm
attacked there.
inside of his radius, so I'd get attacked there, and then again.
Yes.
So I'd have to essentially survive 2 pirate raids.
You got some money. You could go this way around and go back to the city and upgrade.
I don't like that idea.
Then go get shot.
Yeah. Your choice.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1, 2. Is there anything to dock on this side?
No, just on the flanks.
Okay, so I think I'm going to go 3.
So you just went in there just for fun.
Some big waves. Going on.
Yeah. Just to confuse
you know
us.
What, I just...
Your little ship.
I'm an idiot, actually. I should have checked what this was before I moved on.
No, you
You can't, yeah, you can't interrupt. You like.
But you could have done it before.
No,
shouldn't you,
before I
'cause you was already
moved,
there.
because I was
You
already...
were over there, weren't you?
No.
Oh, were you over there? Yeah.
I've got no problem with you looking because
Yeah.
you can't take it anyway because there's no because you haven't got any cargo. So
Cargo, yeah.
I'm happy with you just to look at that anyway.
That's okay. I'll just follow the the regime.
Cool.
Okay, I think I'm going to be a little daring here, and it'll show people what they do. So I've moved out of his radius. Okay, so there was docked, so I couldn't get attacked. So I've moved out of his radius. That's fine. But now I'm going to choose to move back into his radius, which opens me up, even though I'm docked.
But
Or
you're
will
not
be docked,
I
yeah.
will be docked. I'm moving into his radius first, so he'll shoot me in an attempt to.
on the way in.
Alright, so the way combat works is you roll a d6 and add your cannons. The little pirate has got a cannon battery of 4.
And I have a battery of 3.
So I'm basically getting +1 to this roll. You want to roll yours? So Connor's got 8, and I've got 8. So normally draws don't do anything, but pirates
always win draws.
Yep.
Next time, don't roll for me. I don't know why I let him roll for me.
It's to the left.
Yeah.
You chose to sit there.
So the pirates have won this fight, which on our boards we have a little sheet which I'll quickly show you. It's crazy, but that's the little icon.
Symbology or
Yeah.
iconology.
So there we have the small pirate ship. When it attacks a player, it has to, if that's showing it wins tires, there you have to downgrade one of your items, and which is showing you one of your items there. So it could be sails, cannons, or cargo, and you have to dump overboard either a coin or a spice.
Okay, so
So Carl needs to do that now.
I'm going to dump a coin. Ooh. Dump a coin.
Collar's like
Just
leaving a
gonna
little
put it over
trail.
there, 'cause,
Are you just throwing shit overboard so you know which way to go back? Like a little smarty trail.
Breadcrumb. Follow the yellow brick road.
I think. Oh God. I think it's going to be my cannons going down because I really don't want to.
You don't use them very well anyway.
You should just throw the cannons overboard. You need cannonballs, by the way. Okay, so that's the resolution of that shooting.
Okay.
So now you're in port.
Right, so let's see if I actually remember. Okay, I didn't remember too badly.
So you're going to resolve it?
Yeah, that was a good decision. Yeah. So I am going to resolve it. 3 cargo
3 Portuguese crates.
for 3 money and 2 cardamom.
Nope, 2 nutmeg.
2 nutmeg, sorry.
2 orange.
I don't know why.
3 money, is it?
Yeah, 3
Orange
money.
for the orange
Thank you.
boats. Spices are a big delicacy.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you get the money just so you could throw that overboard later?
No, I'm going to...
That's 3 additional shots you can take that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's moved, that's me.
All right. And that's back over to me. I don't know if we've been filming gameplay for... Let's do one more round.
One more round and we'll...
Past the pirate shippy thing. So the big one is going northeast. Where is
So
that?
it tries to go that way, because there's something in the way, goes the other way.
All right. And the little one, let's see if it's going to still harass Carlo. Northwest.
No, not too bad.
It's blocking off your island that you were heading to.
Yeah, annoyingly.
But unfortunately, you still got to roll it before your turn. And then over to me. My little ship over here is going to go 1, 2 to there. It's only got a movement 2. I should really upgrade its speed because it's slow as shit. This one is going to go 1, 2. This is annoying. 3 like that.
Okay.
My turn's really quick.
Mate, right, big ship. He's going northeast, back to Portugal.
Yay! Portugal's beautiful this time of the year.
It's going to go northwest, so it's going to try and go there because it's in the way. It will go this way.
Still annoying for you.
Okay, so me, I will go 1, 2. I'll take a shot from the pirate.
Go on then, Carlo. You can roll for that one. Do us proud, Carlo. Oh, he's rolled a 6.
So once again on the sheet, it basically says against pirate ships, if you win, nothing happens.
Yep.
So you don't get any bonuses or benefits. So just use those words together. You just don't throw anything overboard or lose anything, really.
See, that's what you do. You roll at the same time, not before you make the other person roll.
Like that's gonna make a difference.
It will make a difference.
I feel like this argument can stay off camera. Right, so now I'm in port, so I will have a look at this. I will take that. So for 3 little cargo, I get 3 money and a pepper. So this is where it's quite interesting. So I change that for 3 money and a pepper. So now, effectively, because I've got 2 crates still in here, I've now got 6, so 3, 4, 5, 6 items, but I've only got a cargo hold of 5. So now, effectively, I've got to throw something overboard. So
Man, you guys really don't like your shit over there. I bet you it's going to be the money. Oh no, that's a 3 money, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 3 money.
Throw the pepper overboard. It's not one of the 2 spices you need.
I think I'm going to throw some money overboard. So I'll keep 2 change, throw some money in the water. Sploosh.
I might go like fire my ship up there like Pac-Man and hoover up all the little coins.
Just sort that out. So that's that one done. And then big ship will go. I've got a lot of money there, haven't I? So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go into port. So at the main island, I've got 6 money. So, in the port, there's quite a few different things that you can do.
I'm just going to show you on my board while he's saying that.
So, top left, so basically you can spend money to increase bits of your ship, or you can trade crates in for money, or you can buy crates with money, or you can trade in a resource you have plus money for a different type of resource. So what I am going to do...
And the cost of upgrading your ship is obviously
Yes,
the money
obviously,
in between the upgrades.
So I think I am going to increase... You've got 6 money. 6 money doesn't really go very far, interestingly enough.
Unless you have taken a paggering already. Carlo.
Okay, I'm going to spend 4 money to increase my cargo.
On the big ship or the small ship? Oh, this is the big
This is
ship
the
you're
big ship, yeah, 'cause
upgrading.
he's there. Should I do my cargo? Yeah, do my cargo. And then I've got 2 money left over. I'm going to spend both of those for 4 more crates. Loads of crates there. Okay, that's the end of my turn. Carla's turn.
Let's see what the pirates do.
So starting with the pirate ship closest to me, he's going to go east.
So it's going to go further towards you.
That's just
And
me.
then little ship.
Little ship is going to go west.
Going back west.
Okay. To the car.
They never leave the board, by the way. So, for example, if that one over there rolls east again, it's just going to come back.
Okay, so he is going to turn 1, 2. And I'm going to have a peek at what's in here.
Just so, by the way, that coin in the ocean there, you couldn't have picked that up on the last turn when it dropped out.
No, but I can pick it up now.
Now, yeah.
But you don't have the
I
cargo.
can't. I don't have the cargo capacity, so I can't pick it up. I have 3 coins and 2 spices in there, so.
You want to get those spices home.
Okay, so he's there. I guess he should probably. He's gonna go there for 1.
We can attack each other as well, by the way. Never mentioned that during this because it doesn't seem like we want to. But we're just trying to avoid the friggin' pirates and hoover up our stuff by the looks of things. Quite a passive game.
So I'm in that. So that was 1. I think I'm gonna go 2, 3.
Of course, if Molo was here, he'd be ignoring the spices and just...
Running around trying to shoot everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're entering the
Yeah,
port.
I think. So what? I've got 3 money there, don't I? What can I buy with 3 money?
So you could increase your cannons, you could increase your sails, or you could increase your cargo capacity.
Oh, I can just buy more cargo. Crates, meaning.
Yes.
I feel like I might have to go down that route. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 to get 4 crates. I don't know what fell there, but...
Okay.
Let's go back in. There we go. He's back.
And then little ship.
Little ship. It's an interesting dilemma. First of all, I'm going to have a peek in here because I didn't do that last time. Oh, no, I did. I did that.
Yeah,
yes,
the,
that one.
the very expensive thing or whatever it is.
What, she's got no cargo in there.
No, I have no space for it. I just thought I'd have a peek. Wow.
What you should do is pick up that 1 coin
So-
and drop out some spices.
It's not, it's 3 coins. I think I'm going to go 1, 2.
You look at that one. Oh, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Look at that beautiful island.
Yeah.
It's
Beautiful. All right, I think that's 24 minutes of gameplay, and it pretty much goes around like that. We can attack each other. Combat works exactly the same way as pirate combat does. And
just the only thing is, if you had a tie on a combat with a player, nothing happens.
Exactly, yeah. And once the islands run out of resources, we can then obviously go to the main island to trade there and attack each other and so on. So we'll come back once we're done. See you guys in a bit. Alright, so you join us now for Endgame and Verdict. We've finished off the game. We've worked out the winners. Ironically, you're looking at the winners country right now, which is England.
Oh, pip pip.
They have collected the most resources, and England, I suppose, not unsurprisingly, based on history, is the winner of the Dutch East Indies. Carla and I are joint second, or as I like to call it, me second, her third. We tried our best to try and stop him on our last turn. You can see there's a pirate ship helping. I had my ship attack him, but I lost. Carla attacked him as well and lost because he's been genius with the rolling
dice.
die.
Had some decent dice rolls.
Look at all these coins lying.
Only 2 of them are mine. These are cards, but she was throwing herself into a ship.
My turn, I had, I've got, as you can see over there, I've got one of each, but I need 1 orange, 1 white, and 1 green. I've got an orange and white in my big ship over there, and my little ship has got the extra brown with 2 money to get traded in for a green over there. But this annoying orange ship blocked me off. Not that it wouldn't matter that much, but still, it's the thought.
You still wouldn't be able to make it there for another, what?
3 turns.
Maybe 4 turns.
Yeah.
Once you get there.
Because my ship is very
It
slow.
would be another 4 turns for that one to actually get there.
Alright, so that's the winner right there you're looking at in screen right now. This weasel over here.
This champion.
So let's have a chat about what we thought. How did you think this game went? What did you think?
Yeah, I think I like the core basics of what the game is trying to do. Because you're just trying to use the manipulation of when's the right time to have the cargo to then go to the other islands, to then go and change it for gold and the resources. You can kind of get sneak peeks of what they want as well, which can sometimes lead you to having to backtrack or having to go and exchange other resources to get the perfect combination. I think in this game in particular, I was very lucky because I found 3 peppers, which are wild resources, so it means I didn't have to worry about doing an exchange too much to get the particular resources. In terms of certain aspects of the gameplay, I think the movement is very interesting for your player, because obviously you can only move the 5 spaces ahead of you or to the side. There's an element of, at some stages, my ship was literally just going like this and just moving sideways, which for me, thematically, was annoying me, because I was like, surely he's going to have to turn to try and move, but he's just swaying side by side going between islands. So I thought that was a little bit annoying, but it's only a very small, minor thing.
I think that's probably more to do with the fact that they don't want to tie people down.
Yeah,
you know, like,
if they restricted it to only the 3 in front of you, and you've only got
3
points of movement,
yeah.
it's like, that means the game would take a lot longer to be able to do that. So
20 years later, it's like real time. 20 years time, we finally made it to an island.
I've aged by the time I've actually managed to go and coerce these people to give me some blooming cardamom. So the pirates, I think, is interesting mechanic. It's you're just rolling 1 for each time in between your turns, and then they attack you. They can really be annoying and just get in your way.
Yeah.
And obviously you sort of end up hugging into the ports when there's resources there, to not be shot. And it's, apart from when somebody's going to lunge for the victory and go and deliver their last final goods, I kind of feel like that's the only time that there's player interaction. That's the only time people are like, oh, actually I might need to shoot you now to try and steal some resources or slow you down or do some damage, for example.
I wonder if that's a systematic of rather the players than the game.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just us as players. I mean, because in general, people don't want to just go out and attack people. I mean, I don't know if we said during the gameplay section or during when we weren't filming that, like, if Molo was playing, he'd probably, because he's a complete wild card, you just ignore the islands and just go directly for
Yeah,
us.
we go straight to the centre. More cannons.
Yeah.
More shots.
And then try and attack us, and then that obviously hampers your ship speed and your ship movement and stuff like that. Cargo space is obviously...
I mean, it could be a viable tactic, just going really heavy on guns first, because obviously when you are doing attacks with guns and cannons, you're stealing the spices off them.
Yeah.
So if you're then taking it from them, just bullying them, let them go and collect it, and then you're like, nah, I'll have that now, thanks. And then if they don't have any, it then does damage to their ship as well. So.
But then, also like you do in this game, and what will most likely happen is like people keep money in the boat just in case.
Basically, it is insurance.
Yeah.
It's just a case of I knew that I was like, right, I don't need any cargo anymore. I'll just stock up the rest on gold, knowing that as I'm moving, I'm going to get shot now. I need to have it there, so I'm not dropping the resources that I need instead to win. So.
But we definitely are the type of people to strategically play as opposed to just attacking for randomness.
Yeah, there was a couple of stages in the game where I was thinking of attacking Jason just because he had the resource that I wanted. And I was like, if I could just try and just harass him into trying to give up that on his small ship, and when my big ship's near him, and you don't feel that threat to start with from the opposing players. You just seamlessly just travel around each other and don't think anything of it. You just avoid the pirates. But then later in the game it gets, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, actually.
And I think possibly that's because that's the way that we play. But I guess certain groups might go quite heavy on the attack front.
And also,
but it's not necessary. I guess it's a different tactic, different type of play.
Yeah.
One of the things that also what's the word I'm looking for? Like interrupt attacking each other. There's quite a lot of ports, and we always end up in ports, especially first half of the game. So, for example, like when you move like from there, you'll move to there. From there to there, as opposed to just sitting out in the open.
Port hopping.
Yeah, port hopping. And the way the board is just laid out, it facilitates that a lot. Obviously, once the cards disappear from islands, they no longer become ports until they get restocked again.
Which we didn't actually realise until halfway through this playthrough that actually happened.
Yeah.
So the first probably about 4 or 5 turns, we were going into empty ports and not being damaged, when actually they're not safe anymore because you've already traded with the guys at the ports and they've gone back to the mainland and they're not there helping you out anymore, and the pirates don't care. They'll just shoot your ship on the beach, won't they? So, so it made it a bit more dangerous. Components-wise, the tiles I'm fine with. I like the upgraded components with the metal coins. I like the upgraded with these. I like these little fudge nuggets. It'd be nice if we were saying when we first tried the game, if they just had like a little ink wash.
Yeah, a little sort of brown ink wash.
It would just bring out the fact that actually it is designed like a wooden crate. The ships look cool when they're fully assembled, but as you can see by our game, all of the sails have pretty much fallen off. We've tried to glue some on, but unless you store them properly, it can have a lasting effect. Because I suppose a lot of these, if you look at this one in particular, maybe not this one, but one of mine, the fact that it's snapped off inside the divot, so it's not like you simply can just take it out, put it back in again. It's clearly snapped off at some stage, maybe because there's no insert in the box. Like a lot of other games which have pirate ships, they seem to have an insert to fit them in nicely. But obviously this one they didn't decide they wanted to do that. And
I mean, because this is the standard edition, but they sent us the upgrade components to the game, because the coins are just normal tokens, the crates are just normal brown cubes, the spice tokens are just little spice tokens, and the ships are just little meeples, meeple type ships. Or actually, I think the ship's actually card or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they're like standees or something.
Yeah.
Aren't they? So I think overall the game is fine. It's okay. I don't think it's anything which is wow. Oh my god, I need to play that again immediately. It's also not another game which I'll be like, if Jason said, "Oh, do you want to play the Dutch East Indies again?" I wouldn't be like, "Nah, man, that was crap." I kind of feel like it's just like a middling game. Rating side of things, 6. I think it's probably, from my perspective, is a fair score. It's slightly above average for me.
Yeah. I mean, how about you, Carla?
I agree with most of what Dee said as well. I mean, I'm in two minds of the actual upgrades. I really like the coins. I think they're very cool. I love the crates, and I don't mind the wooden upgrades in terms of the spices. The ships, I've got small fingers, so it's not too much of an issue, but even I had issues getting things out of the little cargo hold. And then I can see that, especially when you are trying to position the ship. So I'm in this position and now I'm trying to get things out of the ship. It can be a little bit of a temperamental
It's very
thing to
fiddly,
do.
isn't it?
It's a bit fiddly,
I think that's one thing I didn't actually mention when I was saying about the ships, because it's a really cool idea that you take in these resources and you can physically put them in your ship, and it's cool like that. But it gets to a certain stage, especially when things can hold 10 cargo. Like, I'm not going to be able to fit 10 counters on here unless it was multiples of gold where you use these as threes. It's not possible. So it's fine early on, but then later on, then there's too many. Like at some stage, I was like trying to like just stack them on top, like we were playing animal upon animal.
And the thing is almost always we do this.
Yeah, it's impossible to not take it unless you're only spending a couple from the top here, for example.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a good idea, but there's not enough space in there to physically
I think
easily maneuver, and there's not an easy option to.
Well,
No.
I think I would have preferred a ship card, like a tile like this, that has the picture of the ship on, and then you could put the, with the spaces on, so you can.
It will give you up to 10 spaces. You know what your cargo limit is, and then you physically put them in a space. That's is a possibility.
I mean, there's only 2 ships anyway, so there was nothing
you got one
holding you from having the cargo holds of the ships.
Yeah, you got one long tile, one small tile, and you immediately see at a glance what's in there, how much space you got.
Yeah,
I think that would have been a much better option.
Just remember one last thing I do have to say, which is a bit of a negative. One is the rule book is not 100% clear on everything, and 2, this iconology on the bottom of your board, which tells you about combat.
It's nuts, isn't it?
It does not explain what all of these symbols mean in the rulebook. So me and Jason had to basically use some kind of code breaking mechanism to understand what it meant. We finally got it in the end, but there's nothing which references what this particular symbol means in the book. In the book, it just gives you text and says, if this happens, then you do X, Y, and Z, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's great if you read it in isolation, but then when you then compare it to this, you're then having to, okay, so if you do this, then you read that part, then you do that, then you do that, and it's just clunky and not clear.
Because the thing is, the key there is that, in fact, like, for example, I read the rule book, so I'm explaining it to you guys, and after I explained it to you, from then onwards, you're looking at this. You haven't read the rules yourself, so you don't know what you might not going to. I don't know anyone who remembers every single word anyone ever says in a game explanation. So when you're looking at this as a new player and you're thinking, what the hell did he say again? I can't remember now. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's not very clear. I mean, as things go, if we're going to talk about clarity, this annoys me a little bit as well, because especially when you've played this for the first time, I kept looking at this going, which ones are my cannons again? It's clear, there's a cannon, this is it. However, as a whole picture, it's very, it's too busy, I think. Everything, this especially, is too busy.
Each and individual section.
So that was a bit distracting. But, I mean, the board is beautiful, the tiles are beautiful, some of the upgrade components are lovely. The movement, although, like Dee says, it's a little weird when your ship kind of sidelongs.
Crab walks.
It was actually quite thematic in terms of getting a big ship like this to turn would take time. So they did quite well in replicating the movement, the delays that might, encumber a ship. The fact that, obviously the way that you upgrade, like moving faster, is actually really hard. For this big ship to go up just one movement is very difficult, and that would be thematically correct. There is a bit of a luck-based thing here. I'm not a fan of when luck takes over too much, and I can see occasions where, for instance, this big pirate ship, I don't know, I think they're besieged.
I reckon 2/3 of the game is just sitting around your home.
Literally. So it made it quite difficult for me to dock, and as I am rubbish at rolling dice, that's yet another. So, this, I was unlucky with these, and then I'm unlucky with these, and then I'm unlucky with what I got here. I can foresee having a game where things just don't go your way and can actually spoil the play for an occasion, and if it's your first play, you might not pick it up again. So I can see that there's just a few too many luck-based elements. I will say there are two types of gamers when it comes to it. Those that love the element of dice rolling and the luck element, and those that don't like it at all, I guess. I probably fall more to the side of less luck, more, okay, I messed up, thus that's why I'm not doing so well.
Well, I think me and Jason were like, all the random luck in the world, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
We'll roll a bucket load of dice and
Exactly.
just see what happens. Just we're a bit reckless, aren't we?
Whereas I firmly believe if Jason says anything but a 1, I'm going to roll a 1.
Which he
It's
says
just-
every time without a doubt.
Yep. And almost always I roll a bloody 1. So that side of things, I think if you don't mind luck-based games, especially miniature gamers, they don't mind things like this. I think this is, I don't know, this is fun. For all of the negatives I've been focusing on, that's my personal experience of this game is not negative. I actually quite enjoyed it. I love the theme. Maybe that has a little bit to do with the fact that I'm South African and, it falls into parts of our history.
Well, the Dutch East Indies had a major role to play in the founding of South Africa.
And of course, unlike countries like England and Portugal, our history is fairly young. So it's quite a prominent part of, of our history. Being able to play Portugal during this whole thing is fun. It's nice to be able to do that. So I think thematically, I felt like it ticked quite a lot of boxes for me. The fact that it's resource collecting and, I really like that. I'd happily play this game again. For all of the luck-based elements of this, I would play this again. I just, for the sake of being honest in terms of, its pros and cons, those are the things that I felt, weren't the greatest. But, I mean, the pirate ships were annoying, but they didn't really stop you
The pirate
from
ships
playing.
The pirate ships are interesting. I find I quite like the way they work, but I've found in every game I've played, they always seem to stick around the same sort of area.
Yeah.
In this particular case, the big ship was around Portugal for most of the time, but because of the nature of the dice, I mean, they only move one space. So, and yes, there's eight directions they can go on, but for some reason, the dice tends to just make them go around. So, like, he'll go there, then there, then there, then there, then there, then there,
But
then there,
I think
there, like
that
this.
There's a lot of mitigation with when
Yeah.
it can't move in a certain direction, it then bounces the other way as well. So
And I think
once,
that's why-
once it gets to a stage where it's near an edge of a map or near an island, it's then almost
Which is this problem
shoehorning
here.
it with saying, "Well, you are going that way now."
Yeah.
4 points, almost always it's going to bounce back, which is what's happened here. You got stuck between these islands and didn't really move away from there from that point onwards. So, but again,
But they do.
it's annoying, but it's not... It's not end gaming.
It's not game.
No.
No.
And I quite like the impact they have on the game. They make you feel like
They're a nuisance, like
Yeah.
they would have been.
Yes,
Exactly.
I
They would have
agree.
been a massive nuisance, and you would be like, "We're not going to leave this port until we see that pirate flag disappear from over there."
Yeah, in the
We'll wait for
horizon.
them to go before we do anything.
Exactly.
And then you set off and they chase you down, and
Yeah.
it's fun. It's I get from your perspective that like in this particular game it might have been irritating. And I think in the last game me and you played, didn't it hang around with you a lot as well?
Yeah, loads.
So I get that,
It's not. It doesn't end your game. Like this guy hardly moved away, and that other guy was. I mean, my
At one stage, I can't remember if it maybe at the beginning we were filming or not, but basically these ships around here, Carla was like over here trying to get over there, and they're just like literally circling like sharks going over here.
and I had that one over there as well. So literally, I could not get my ships away. But despite all of that interference with them, and I mean, my small ship actually has one cannon because I had to downgrade him so much from being attacked. Regardless of all of that, my ship is full of crates. It has 2 cardamom in. I have got 5 resources at my home base. It wasn't like I wasn't competing. D just played faster and better. So, for all of our complaining, Jason wasn't much better off than I was. Maybe a step faster, but it was fairly balanced. I don't know. Maybe again, it's one of those things where it depends on how things come out. Whether or not you get an upper hand or not.
So would you be able to rate it?
I don't rate games.
But if you did, out of 10.
No. I'll say this. I love the theme. I like the resource collecting. So this is on the top half of my likes, if you like. I would probably keep this. But I think what weighs in between going or staying is probably theme.
And space.
There's no space in this house.
No, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm also I think it's quite a light game because if you compare this to other games like Merchants and Marauders,
Yeah, other games of similar themes. This compared to Merchants and Marauders, this is
yeah,
Merchants and Marauders hours. This one easily within an hour.
yeah, exactly, and that I think that's obviously what they were going for here. And the components make it enough to make it like I think the upgraded components make it enough to be a visually interesting game. The borders obviously gives you the feel of that. I think I would have preferred a little more exploration in the game. You know, maybe finding the islands rather than them being there, but then it could create an unbalance, that sort of thing.
But I guess they're trying to say that they know these are ports. So you're not discovering ports. These are established ports. You're just visiting to see what resources they have.
Maybe.
So
I mean, because
Indies knows that they will have resources here. That's why you're going there.
one of the things that I like about obviously the history is that they've one of the first people to find South Africa. So they explored to get there. You know, which is obviously not what you're doing here.
If you have any Portuguese viewers, there might be a disagreement there.
No, fine. But yes, and effectively it's a pick up and deliver game. You go, you find some stuff, and then you take it back to your port, and you doing a bit of a race. Everything that you guys have said, I think I agree with. I feel like there's quite a bit of luck in the game, but because it's quite a fast, friendly, family weight game, it's not too big a deal. I mean, these cards are not all created equal. I mean, like this one, you have 5 crates to get 5 things back again, but this one's quite good for things like that. Whereas, for example, if you look at these two, this one is 3 crates for 3 money and 2 spices. This one's 3 crates for 2 money and 1 spice. So it's less money and less spices, and they cost the same amount of crates.
But I mean, at the same time, I don't want to be funny, but as great as this is, you wouldn't necessarily be able to put it in there. You might not have the space for it.
No, but that's my point is that if you got this and I got that, that's, you know...
I think this is probably even better example. You spend 4 crates to get 1 money and 2 different resources, or you spend 3 crates and get an additional money and 2 resources.
Yeah.
So even though, yeah, the resources are slightly different, where this one's got cinnamon and this one's got other brown thing. It's the fact that less crates for more stuff. That element of it is annoying because that is completely random and down to the fact that, okay, I've drawn this random card here and this is going to cost me more and get me less than what the next person with the next card then goes there and gets a much better offer.
Yeah.
I suppose what Jason's going to say is that's annoying.
Yeah, it's not a game breaker. It's just... It takes the game from being what would be an interesting strategic game to a more family-based luck game. Because you got luck from what you draw from there. You got luck from where the pirates are interfering with. You've got luck from the dice rolls when you do combat. You got a lot of luck and not that much mitigation from that. So you're basically... You have to bypass the strategic element of it and just look at it as we're going to just have a quick hour of searching for some stuff and, you know, finding some stuff. And
you're right in the fact that I think you have to change your mindset. This looks like a more strategic resource building game where you go in with a more, you know, a certain frame of mind. And actually, it's not that. It's, you know, it's the same equivalent of roll the dice and see where you go.
Yeah, it's a lot more luck based than you would think this type of theme would be. The other thing I wanted to mention before I get to is that I've lost my train of thought.
Player boards?
The player boards I think could have been obviously a little bit better. Like D's already gone into that, so I don't think there's need to be mentioned. But I mean,
I kind of think they've just tried to do too much on it.
Yeah.
They've tried to tell you everything you ever need to know, but then you still need to look at the rulebook.
Yeah, because it's
the whole idea of having something which is a player aid is so that you can basically read the rules, explain a bit, and then during the game you shouldn't generally have to pick it up. You can go, there's a player aid here, which should explain the things you'll need to know, apart from something which is a bit more convoluted.
Well, the player
this doesn't really do that. It says, here's all the rules, this is some symbology, but you'll probably still need to check the rules to find out what it means.
Yeah. So I think from me, looking at the standard game that it is, with the expanded resources, because I've only played it with the expanded resources. I think it's a fine game, not brilliant. You know, if for my own personal taste, I think I'd prefer to go to a more strategic level game. So therefore, like Merchants and Marauders is my more preferred choice, even though it's a longer game.
Even on timescale, maybe something like Black Fleet instead.
Or yeah. For a shorter game, which has a similar sort of theme, Black Fleet would be. But they do have. We're just doing the review of the base game, even with the expanded components. But they do. This is coming to Kickstarter soon, which I'll do a separate video for, where they're going to be adding some more stuff to it, where you can build things on the islands and have different options you can do with your settlers and ships and things. So I'm really interested to see that. But just from the base game alone, with what it provides you, I mean, you said a 6, didn't you? And you are on.
I'm not far off that. I think. I mean, I like this. I think maybe I'd rate it just a little bit higher, just because I like the theme.
I see the theme was the one that dragged me into it, because obviously what Carla mentioned. I don't know. I think I'm leaning more to 5.5 out of 10, mainly because I think the theme adds a bit to me. The components are good. Even the base components would be fine. The ship thing is really annoying. The fiddliness of the ships. I would have preferred to have some ships with cargo spaces on the side. I think I would have preferred maybe just a little more strategic depth to the game, which I think the expansion will hopefully add, and we'll look at that at a further date. And obviously some of the random elements bring the strategic level just a little bit down, which means I can't rate it as high for my own personal opinion, for my own personal tastes. But for a family weight game, I actually think this is not too bad. Like you said, though, that you get things like Black Fleet and those type of games. And also another game that I really like, which is not the similar type of game, but similar theme, is Pirates Cove.
I've spent the last 2 minutes trying to think of what's that other pirate game that I kind of feel like has a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, because that one you're not really looking for resources, but you're trying to find treasures. You're literally pirates.
You're travelling between islands.
Yeah, whereas this one is more of a more historical based theme. But those are my thoughts for Dutch East India, or Indies, from Keep Exploring Games. As I said, they will have an expansion which will add to this game with some more stuff coming up soon, which we'll do a separate video for. But for now, that is our review. Thanks for watching, and if you liked our thoughts and video compilations, you can like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.